Don't ever go with the flow, be the flow.
Yeah.
And I don't need no middleman to talk but to my
Yeah.
I understand if you don't understand. That's where we differ.
Welcome to the We Differ Podcast, episode number 12 of the We Differ Podcast. I am your host, Shell456, alongside my beautiful, lovely, amazing co-host, E. How you feeling on this Sunday night?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
That's great. I'm good. High and full of energy. Like, I don't know what gotten into me tonight, but yeah, I'm just ready to go.
Okay. How was your day?
It was cool. We had a nice little walk in the hike today.
In the hike?
The hike. Had a nice little hike in the forest today.
It was a hike for sure.
Yeah.
Ass is hurting.
So my legs a little fucked over, but it was cool.
For sure.
I think that probably added to my good overall mood right now and shit. Getting out there and really getting active.
Yeah. I had a really good active rest day.
Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by We Differ Shop. We got hoodies, t-shirts, a lot of different designs. Y'all can go cop up, and the link is in your description or in my bio. This podcast is I want to direct this one towards like just mindsets.
Right.
And mindsets of different people. And the reason, I don't know, I think this hit me because like New Year's Eve, you know what I'm saying? You know how you do resolutions, like New Year's resolutions. So in my mind, I just wanted to get like stone cold focus, you know what I'm saying? So I started to I know every year, everybody say, okay, new year, new me. And, by the time week 2 in the new year is just like back to your normal self. You know what I'm saying? So this time around, I did like a process of elimination. And I wanted to eliminate things that might alter my mindset. And the two things that I chose to actually pick was like marijuana, which I don't smoke a lot, but I might smoke once a week, and alcohol. And same thing, I might drink once a week. And this is not for everybody because some people focus really good with weed in their system or off weed. It creates a focusness. I think it makes me overthink. And the same thing with alcohol. It's like, it's fun the night I'm drinking, but the next 2 days, I'm done. I can't do anything, you know what I'm saying? So that will alter my mindset. So I just want to dive into the whole process of mindset and what separates different people mindsets and shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. First things first. Like a winner mentality. Somebody like Kobe Bryant. What do you think like drives a person like that? This is a successful person. Like, what do you think is like maybe something like a upbringing or like what could it possibly be to have somebody that focused, that driven, and that, like he say, the Mamba mentality?
Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Initially, I think it always starts with your personality. I think it has all to do with personality. I think your upbringing does play a part sometimes, but without that personality, like whatever upbringing you have, like it will not really make
a difference. Yeah, I believe that too. But do you think like you can train yourself to like switch your personality, like an on button or off button?
I believe no, it's not an on or off button. No, but I believe you have to get much older to be able to control something like a mentality. Because when you're younger and you have you go through puberty, like as a teenager, and then when you're a young adult, you may go through heartbreak, and like you may get your first dose of reality. So like you have a lot of different things to like encounter first. I believe,
like
before
growing pains, like kind of like growing
yeah,
pains, and
and
it's just actually living life.
And that's where your growth and your mindset does form sometimes. Like, well, the change in your mindset, I believe that's where it forms.
Yeah, I believe in that. I think also like if you're a kid and you're watching somebody, I think you can kind of build personality traits that alter your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like if your brother is a high school basketball star and you're in like middle school, like I think you can like start to follow that path early without having to go through the growing pains. You can kind of see something and pick up on it. Kind of like, all right, so like not to burn out this Kobe thing, but like I feel like Kobe got a lot of his shit from Michael Jordan. Like they have the same exact mentality. And I think that he watched Mike from afar and like studied that man and just was relentless on becoming that. You know what I'm saying? This becoming great. And I think that's a real thing. I think you can train your mind to change your personality, because I'm sure Kobe Bryant coming up wherever he came up, you know, Lower Marion, it wasn't nobody around him that's like him. Like people like him are one-on-ones, you know what I'm saying? So I think early you can look at somebody or look up to somebody and it can alter your thoughts, alter your mentality without you having to, you know, actually go through the growing pains of it.
I don't know.
And another thing is the reason I feel that so much, what you say about personalities and this growing up and this growing into who you are and what the world shaped you into mentality wise, is like I was a totally different person before I turned 30. You know what I'm saying? And once I turned 30, I started reading. I started reading books, and like each book I read, I dive like deeper into the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? And I started teaching myself new things and new things and new things. And now I'm 37 now. Started reading at 30. I probably read about close to 100 books. I'm a totally different person. I don't think like I used to think before I was 20 at all. So I credit my whole mentality now to just self-educating. Like I don't think it was nothing else other than you know, like in my 20s I had hard lessons. More so like on the street aspect of things. So it's like I can be rough around the edges, but outside of that, I think like my personality is one like 90-80% of just sitting down and reading books and learning.
So you believe your personality is developed?
Yeah. Well, I believe my personality was all right. My mentality. I think I still have the same personality from in my 20s,
right?
But my mentality is.
So I think it is important to make sure like the difference, because like your personality, I think, determines what your mindset will be. So if you have a personality where like if Kobe was different, he wouldn't be able to be like, oh, Michael Jordan, I want to be like him. Because if you had like I don't want to say like a follower mentality or personality, because if you had like another person, it would never be like, oh, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like he had to have that personality so that he could create that mentality.
Yeah, 100%.
You know 100%, what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think a lot of times your personality determines whether you succeed or fail.
Yeah. And I think
and it's determined.
It depends.
It's determined by a lot of your setbacks are determined like by your mentality. So if you have like a certain mentality and you have a setback, like a loser mentality is gonna be like, I can't do this and I'm done. And if you have like a winner's mentality, it's gonna be like, all right, what's next? How do I win? How do I benefit off of this L.
Yeah.
I took an L, but it's not an L. Like I benefit, like I learned.
Yeah. And I think that's the difference between winners and losers. I think I don't want to say losers. I'd rather say like people that settle. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think there's nothing wrong with settling. But I think people with I take it back to like being optimistic and pessimism. You know what I'm saying? It's like people that's optimistic, they can get hit, they can fall on the ground, they're gonna get up 100 times. You know what I'm saying? Pessimists, like they get hit, they fall down, and it's like they go and on the sidelines. And
they might get up too though, but they'll just have a different outlook. Like, like how many people you know who had a fucked up life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they just like they're all right all the time or whatever. And like they still have a horrible outlook, and it's like, damn, I went through this and this is happening. But they still around, you know what I mean? And they still like okay. They're pessimistic, but they're still going. Like so
I think they still go, but I think they do play the bench. They play it safe because to push through, you got to be optimistic. You got to be able to take a loss. You got to be able to get punched in your face. You got to be able to just break through walls. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're pessimistic, it's just like, I think it's the complete opposite of that. What about like the influence of like your closest friends? You think that can build like your mentality or alter anything within a person?
I think it determines how you view your friends. Like somebody, I don't know. I think your parents, because like we were talking about the other day when we were saying that your parents can live vicariously through you, and it could benefit you, like your mindset, or they can reflect their fears onto you, and it can it could be a negative for your mindset.
You had the example the other day saying like I think you said like a baseball player, like a kid baseball player, and a dad being the you know like pushing that kid to be the best baseball player, and that's fine and good if the kid wants to be a baseball player, but if not, then you know.
Yeah. Because I think I used the example of Love and Basketball. Yeah, just talking about Love and Basketball. Like, if you have a son, you got an NBA basketball player, and he has a son, and his son grows up and he wants to be a basketball player. That's great or whatever, because he wants to be like him and he wants to follow steps. So fine, you want to live vicariously through your son. That works out. Yeah, but in some cases, you know. Loving Basketball, he got older and would want to do that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like the father was being fearful of like his son turning out like this, and he still turned out like that. Like he was reflecting his fears on that son, and like most times like it's gonna turn bad. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Yeah, that's so though they're trying to like create a mentality, like it doesn't really work all the time, because like people are individuals and that personality trait trumps the mentality overall, I think. Yeah. True. All right.
Like, what about content? I think that have like a real effect on like personality, like the TV shows you watch, the music you listen to. I believe you become what you kind of like take in. All right. Two things about that. So if you're taking in informational and like content, and you're reevaluating like your life, I think that's necessary for like redefining your mindset. But if you're taking in information such as like music or you know, shows or whatever, a person like me, like, all right, perfect. I'm listening to Jasmine Sullivan, right? You know, like her album. I love the album right now, right? And a lot of it. What's the name of it?
I don't know.
All right. Her new EP is out. That shit is dope. So y'all tune in.
She bodied that shit.
Philly for sure.
Right. So I'm I love her album, right? I mean, her
Yeah.
EP, right?
Yeah.
But it's not relatable to me.
Yeah.
It really isn't. So though I'm taking in this content, she's talking about like, if the sex is good, she'll pay his rent. If he's nasty, you know, being a whore and all that type of stuff. I'm not any of that. Like, you know what I mean? So like the content, sure, I can take in this information, but it's not like, it doesn't do anything for me.
Okay, and that's a good point, because a lot of the music now is that type of content. A lot of the young ladies rapping is bust it open, I cut a check, boom,
and I
boom,
think
boom.
that's where the personality traits come in. That's why I say the personality trait trumps it, because if you have a followers type of personality, you're gonna listen to that music like, oh, like all these like ghetto shit. Yeah, you're going to. But if you have a personality like mine, and like I have like core whatever I value, and that's my core,
values,
it's never going to derail, because that's my, you know what I mean? Yeah,
true. All right, yeah.
And honestly, I know as a young kid, I understand that children can be persuaded, children can be guided in a wrong direction with the content that they watch. Children, I believe, like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
But when you're older, I don't understand that. Like how like a woman at like 18 years old and like just listening to music and then I don't get that.
I just don't. I don't see no difference between
a child.
I don't. I mean, people don't fully develop to. A lot of people are just have child mentalities. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
So
that's very true.
Yeah, so 18, 19, 20. I mean, even if you're 40, it's 40-year-old out here acting out the music and the content that they see right now. So yeah. All right. Let's get back onto like what molds one mentality. Do you think like environment? Well, okay. I think, and let's dig into this just a tad bit. I don't want to go too deep into this. All right. Can you just explain nature versus nurture?
Okay.
Real quick.
You want to tell people why you about to bring this up?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it, but just explain it. Just like preface.
Nature versus nurture is something that they study in science, and nature is your genes, something that you are born with. You're predisposed to it, and I'm not talking about like once you're born. I'm talking about predisposed, like prior to anything. And nurture is your environment, anything that you experience once you're born, your upbringing. So nature versus nurture, how a kid comes out and like is how he or she grows up to be, what those factors are. Nature, because of the genes, what they were predisposed to, or nurture.
Okay. And my stance on this is I lean heavily towards nurture. I believe that your environment kind of like builds your personality, your mindset, all that. And E believes that it's nature. It's more so genes that's passed down from parents and
because of your personality. Because I believe your personality, you're born with it.
But okay, yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So this to start off on my side, I believe that if you're back against if you're born in the hood and you're back against the wall, and you kind of got to do what you got to do, it builds your personality to think a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like you're in survival mode, so your personality becomes like you could be the nicest person in the world, but after a certain amount of time, you got to build up these defenses because it's like you got to adapt to your environment. And then I believe that also alters your mentality. You know what I'm saying? I just think that you really do change in that certain situation. Whereas though I think if you take that same baby from the hood and put that baby with another black family that live in the suburbs, I think he would be a totally different person. And I think that, you know, he would come, he wouldn't be so on edge. He would react differently in different certain situations, and he'll just be, you know, mentality would be different.
Okay, and I understand and respect why you feel that way, and
Mhm.
I'm not even gonna say I 100% disagree,
Mhm.
because I do understand that environment can play a role.
Mhm.
I don't think it's the determining role.
Mhm.
That's what it is.
Mhm.
So for me, where you say take this boy, this baby,
Mhm.
out of the hood that he
Mhm.
was born in, place him, adopt him. He is in the suburbs with his
Mhm.
white family or whatever.
Black family, black rich family.
Okay. Black rich family. No, I want it to be like the total opposite. That's why I said
Okay, yeah.
suburbs is a white family.
Uh-huh.
So though he may have been raised by these white parents who are extremely mild-mannered
Mm-hmm.
and have really pleasant personalities or whatever, I think he's always, if he was predisposed to certain personalities, if he was born with certain personalities,
Mm-hmm.
his parents were this way and he is this way, his birth parents,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to show some form of aggressiveness. It's gonna be exploited in some type of way.
All right, so basically you saying like if he had like a really aggressive mom or dad, some way that's going to come out.
If he got that
Mhm.
personality traits,
Mhm.
because I understand that some traits are recessive.
Mm-hmm. So what? All right, so in a situation like that, what if that's remedied early? What if they give him like take him to therapy early? That's environment. That's environment. Like,
Hold on. All right. They take him to therapy early.
I stumped your ass. I got
All
you.
right.
I've been trying to win this argument for about 2 years now. I got your back against the ropes.
All right. If they take him to,
What you gonna do?
all right, as a kid,
Yeah.
a kid,
a kid, you know they be doing that shit young.
all
Five. I'll say five.
right. Here's the thing: as a kid, seeking therapy for children, a lot of things are like deeply hidden. They don't even know. A lot of things they can't face. So if they see a therapist as a child,
Mm-hmm.
they probably won't even like unveil those issues, because
it's no trauma there though, because they was taken as a baby, so it's no trauma. It's nothing that they seen.
Exactly. So they won't be unveiled because like he don't really know. So you're saying go to therapy for what? For what then? Anger
management issues. You the little fucker keep throwing tantrums. You know what I mean? And we gotta fix this before it get bad. You know what I'm saying? I think in that situation, he's afforded to have help, and kids in the ghetto, we're not afforded that shit.
Okay. How about this? Since you bring therapy into it, I'll digress on that only because of this. I understand that therapy, and like that curves mental illness or whatever. So what can be that? What these tantrums can potentially turn into something mentally, and that's a chemical imbalance. So they can correct that. So that's different.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a point that I wanted to make. Like, just matter of fact, we'll skip that point.
Okay, so when do you change your mindset? How and when do you change your mindset?
How and when?
Yeah. When do you think you have to change your mindset?
When? Like a reason to? When you get fed up of results that you're getting, I think like whenever you're fed up with like the results that you're getting in life, you need to change your mentality because it's something that you're doing wrong. And I think a lot of times people sit back and they start blaming other people or blame other situations where they need to sit back and assess themselves. And that's why I think like your closest friends, you know what I'm saying? I think like that I believe that has a real play a real big role in it. It's like these are the people that you're closest to. Y'all all think alike. You know what I'm saying? Y'all kind of do the same things. So I think go ahead. You want to say something?
For me, my friends, I can have like a totally different mindset. Like just because I'm friends with someone does not mean we're into the same things at all. Me personally, and I know I know that's true, and I say this all the time. Like, and you don't believe, so I'm an exception. So a lot of times I do have to remove myself from like the scenario.
Yeah.
But most times the people who you hang out with, yes, you probably do have the same mindset. But someone like me, like I can hang around people like I hate to keep using this, like I hang around whores, like and like I can even engage and I can laugh and I can like, but it's not my life. I don't have that mindset.
So what about taking a step back and like let's remove like whores, because that's a major action that you would have to take to become a whore. What about gossiping? Like if you around 5 people that gossip, there's no escaping that. You're not going to be the only person in that group that don't gossip. Y'all all going to gossip.
No, I believe you can, because how many times you hear me on the phone and I just listen?
It's gossip.
Don't be talking.
It's still gossip.
You can so just because you listen to gossip, that means you're a gossiper?
You're gossiping. Hell yeah.
Nah.
Hell yeah. 100%. I think if you're listening to it, then yeah, even if you chime in every couple minutes, like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah.
A lot of times you just want them to know you're still on the phone. Like,
yeah, but
I
still think it's just a mentality, and
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No, 100%. I don't think it's nothing.
I definitely do gossip. I don't want to get that fucked up. I gossip for sure.
Exactly. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with gossip at all. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you're around people that gossip, you're gonna gossip.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why.
But that's not every. So, all right.
If your friends, if you hanging around 5 niggas that smoke weed, you're gonna be the 6th nigga that's smoking weed in that group eventually.
So if you hang out with a group of thieves,
I'm gonna steal some shit one day. 100%. It's like in the hood. Like, but I when I was coming up, I wasn't into like my mindset. I wasn't violent, you know what I'm saying? I hung around people that was gangsters, and I ended up being around shootouts and shit like that. And then I had to step back, like, God damn, I could die in this shit. It wasn't who I was. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, you're like your closest friends. You know what I'm saying? I believe that.
I don't. I mean, sometimes, but I believe that
most
two people
times
could be totally different, have total different outlooks on the world, have total different mindsets, and be the closest people.
Unless you're the annoying, like, preachy friend. You think you the annoying preachy friend? You could be the annoying preachy friend.
I'm deaf the annoying friend.
Yeah. Then you become.
Well, not anymore. I used to be. I'm not even gonna lie. People used to like, don't tell Erin. She's gonna say that. Don't tell Erin. But now I don't give a fuck about people's lives anymore. So like I don't preach anymore. Yeah. But I did that because like I cared so much. So I did used to like preach. But now
So I think
I just listen to them.
In that situation, I think you become an anomaly because you're like offering a helping hand. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like I think people now don't talk about other people to me, but like when I was around people and they talking about people, I will make sharp lefts. Like, all right, let's talk about like some ideas. Like I seen that somewhere.
That makes people very angry.
A long time ago, like
when you do that, right?
What?
Well, not you per se, but like I tried to do that. That makes people angry.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, they feel like, oh, you too good. They're like, no, I just don't want to talk about.
I want to change.
I dumb shit, bro.
Change now.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah,
real shit.
Well, all right. So you think? I asked you when, like, what causes for change, right? To your mindset, and you said like your friends.
No. I said, I started to make a point.
Yeah,
but,
you did.
Okay. For me, like I said, it was turning 30. I was in like a dead end job. My daughter was 2. I was in a dead end job. My daughter was 2, and I was making music, and I didn't understand the business aspect of it, and I understood that you couldn't go further. Like, I understood that it was a roadblock if I didn't understand the business part of it. And I started reading like business books, and then it dove deeper into spirituality. Like I said, I just kept going down a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? And that was just, I think honestly, age played a major part in that.
Okay.
I think I reached a certain maturity when I turned 30. I think I did a total 360 in my mind. My mindset automatically. It might have been like a society type thing. Like, how people say, oh, 30, I got to get married. I got to have a baby. I got to do all these things before I turn 30. I think when I turned 30, I was like, I got to fix my brain. You know what I mean? Like, I got to do something to make me think differently, to make my outcomes have more successful outcomes and better views on life. You know what I'm saying? Because like my mentality was just like, I was shot the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And nobody could tell, but like just the way I thought was just way off.
Okay, well, that's good. You did that. That was self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I believe that. So milestones, sometimes it could be like turning 30, or like I don't want to be 40 and alone, like that type of stuff. It could be like you just being fed up with certain things, like, oh, like I'm tired, like, and I know a lot of times like everybody gets tired. Probably like I get tired like 3 times a month. I'm fed up with this shit. Yeah. But certain times, just like you just know certain times, like I used to ask my sister, like, how do I know, like, when I'm done with a nigga? I used to ask her that when I was younger. She's like, oh, you know. You don't know. Because you used to say that. Like, I'm done this time, I'm done. Yeah. You don't know. Yeah. And you just get fed up and you just know. Yeah. When it's and sometimes it's people that you meet. So, like influences. So you ever hear your mom say something repeatedly and she's telling you this or your life, and then a friend comes along, you meet a friend, and then they say the same thing to you. And it's like, damn, that shit hit different. It's like it was the messenger, sometimes not the message. Yeah. So sometimes like just the person comes in, and maybe it's just because you see how their life is going for them. Or whatever, because sometimes you can't take information from people because you feel like, all right, where's that guy in you? I see you in the same situation as me or whatever. Yeah. So, and like it depends on like where you hold this person in your life. So sometimes it's the person. Yeah.
Yeah, the people, and then just like certain circumstances. I think like one day you can wake up and be like 400 pounds, and like I had a fucking up. You know what I'm saying? You just hit the gym, and then I think it could. Yeah, I think it's all situational. In this circumstance, I do think. Now, I do believe a majority of people don't ever reach that maturity to switch their mentality. I think a majority of people go through their whole life with the same mindset they had when they was basically from 15 to 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? I think because, and the reason I say that, because I think a lot of people ignore the signs. You know what I'm saying? Like they might turn 30 and it's like, all right, whatever. Or they might gain 20 pounds. They're like, I'm gonna die anyway. Or they run through all the roadblocks.
Well, I think it's more like people being open to certain things. So like if you keep you keep failing or whatever, like you have to have a certain openness. And in order to grow, you have to, just like I was saying last episode, you have to be able to receive certain like information. And sometimes you got to start with a blank slate. Sometimes you gotta erase everything you thought you knew. And like reconstruct your whole life. And like you'll find yourself like, damn, like this shit don't even mean nothing to me.
My homie, one of my best friends, he made a post today on Facebook, and he said that exact same thing. And it was just like, and he's somebody that I look at and I look up to. in a lot of different aspects. And he just like, man, I thought I knew, I thought I knew it all. Boom, boom, boom. You know, sometimes I gotta reset and I gotta do this and gotta do that. And it made me sit back and cause when I listen to him and when we talk, you know, we always have great conversations. So I want to pick his brain on where he think he made a mistake or where he made a misstep. And I do understand that we'll never reach 100%. You know what I'm saying?
You always gotta grow. Yeah.
So from 30 to where I'm in right now and all the fucking books I read, I still think I'm on 6%, you know what I'm saying, out of 100. So it's just always a learning process. There's always going to be our demons that come back. There's always going to be like a childhood shit that torment us. There's always going to be something that creeps in, but we got to understand that we can shoot those things down and we can, like, you know, just try not to overthink things and fall back into dark places.
When it comes to like your past trauma and childhood and all of that, a lot of people just like block it out. It's not about that at all. You have to deal with it. It's not about like you know, dodging that shit at all. You gotta do. It's called shadow work. That's what it's called, shadow work. And you gotta like understand your trauma. You gotta understand how it plays a role in like how you are today. You gotta do shadow work, because if you don't do it and understand how that's affecting you, and guys, your anything that you do, it's gonna constantly come back.
Yeah,
like
100%. Because I mean, it's just a loop. You living through a whole loop, and once you reach a trigger, that behavior gonna come back, and no matter what you did, no matter how many books you read, no matter, it always come back. Before we wrap this up, like suggestions to fix or to seek help. Do you think, like, outside of therapy, do you think there's remedies to like mend? Like, do you think you can, like, maybe you went through child abuse as a kid? Do you think is a book you can read or books that you can read and like take care of it yourself? Outside of, with the stigma of therapy, do you think people can heal? Just pick up a book and read something and like look at the facts, like, oh, this is this, and then like start to help themselves?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it causes for a lot of self-reflection now, because a lot of times people don't realize that they're a certain way.
Yeah.
A lot of times people reflect their fears on the other people. Something can happen and they'll say, like you said, they'll blame other people.
Yeah. And a lot of times, people blame their parents, you know what I'm saying? And my thing now is like, you can't do that. Like you really can't.
You can't be old as hell still blaming your parents. Because at that point, you're responsible for yourself. Exactly. You can't be like in a relationship and like at work. Yeah. And like dealing with real people problems and you saying, oh, my mom was like this. Yeah. What the fuck, kid?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Even if it's the truth. Even if you are like, even if it's the truth, you just can't blame them at that point. You gotta blame yourself for not seeking help. Because it's not your
mom's life. Like, it's not your parents' life or whatever. And it just like,
I think a lot of times that's just a cover up for people not wanting to do the work. So they can say, "Oh, it's that person's fault."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You gotta. I mean, but look, if the people, you gotta want to do the work. If you don't want to do the work, then I mean, that's cool. That's 100% cool.
Facts.
I mean, I don't really care to. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. All right, so we're at 40 minutes right now.
Really? We didn't get to like hardly. I got mad stuff that we didn't get to.
All right, so you want to do a part 2? We can freak it. We can switch the topics up.
Then I freak it.
Hey, all right, look, this is the We Differ podcast. We really, really appreciate you guys for like tuning in once again on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. I just want to be completely transparent with you guys. We shot this podcast yesterday and it just, maybe we was tired. Maybe we just didn't want to do it. But I think today, this shit was amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to, like, the people that don't get to, like, get a peek under the curtain, being a creative is not going to always be smooth. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're going to make something that's not good, and sometimes you're going to make something that you feel is awesome. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we did a good job today. Not to pat ourselves on the back, but yesterday was horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like we was on some bullshit. We stopped the camera and today was just like, I think we reset, we refocused, we understand who we was. And just understand, like, when you making content, when you creating, it's gonna be ups and downs. You gotta be able to step back, look at the content, see if the content is good, and boom, boom, boom. Just like we was talking about last episode. So I just want to be transparent with people and just let people know, like, this shit ain't one take all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is actually the first time that we had to, like, record a whole new episode. But yesterday,
yeah, this definitely is the first time.
Yesterday, the whole time, we thugged it out to make it a 40 minutes. The whole time, I'm thinking, stop this shit, turn this shit off the whole fucking time. And as soon as I'm like, that's not airing them out.
That shit was
we
weird.
need to redo that.
That shit was weird. I didn't understand. I didn't understand that shit at all. I don't know what it was. But yeah, once again, we thank y'all for listening. This is the We Differ podcast. We over 40 minutes right now, and we will see y'all next Monday.
Peace.